Okay, today we're going to be talking about one-point perspective. And the first thing that you're going to be doing with one-point perspective is because it has one vanishing point, you're going to go ahead and choose your vanishing point. And that should be on anywhere on the middle of the paper to the lower half because it's going to be representing the ground. So to help make sense of that, anywhere from lower bottom to the middle of the page. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and represent your street first. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines, and they need to make sure that they are measuring, or not measuring, that they are leading back to the vanishing point. Each one of these lines that you're going to be doing is always going to be leading back to your vanishing point. This is the most important spot on your paper because everything kind of leads into that vanishing point. Next, what you're going to be doing is going ahead and building some buildings today. Hopefully you can start to imagine this is a little bit three-dimensional. You can start to see the illusion. This is where the horizon line is on your paper, but we don't need to draw that on your paper. Instead, we're going to go ahead and start drawing some of the buildings on your paper. So to start off with, you can draw some of your buildings. We're going to go straight up and down vertical for these lines. And my next one, I'm going to go ahead and draw another line. That was the first one. Let's go ahead and draw a shorter line on that one. This one I just took right off the edge of the paper. Now what we're going to be doing is this building, this is the side of the building and this is the face of the building that faces the street. Now what I'm going to be doing is taking this line right here that I stopped. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect it. And when I connect it, I'm going to make sure that I have my ruler on the vanishing point. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw that back, and it lines up to my vanishing point. So if you'll remember, the basics of perspective is whatever is closest to you is going to be large, and as it gets back further and further away from you, it's going to get smaller and smaller, like it does in real life. So this is the side of my building. To help you see that just a little bit, let's go ahead and draw the side of the building. You can pretend that this is an alley right here. So that might help you to be able to see things. Let's go ahead and continue some more buildings. Most of the buildings, as you get further back, are going to get smaller and smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and make a shorter building. Every once in a while, it's okay to make a taller building, but most of them should be shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and take this line. Now, notice that whenever I drew that, I lined it up to my vanishing point. And now what I'm going to do is take this straight down. There we go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to continue with drawing these back to your vanishing point and then going straight down. Every once in a while, it is okay to draw a taller building. Most buildings get smaller in the distance. Every once in a while, you're going to get one that's kind of a little taller. So I just extended my line up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is, just like I did the others, I'm going to go ahead and take my line back to the vanishing point, not all the way, but just a little bit to represent your building, and then down. Now notice you have this building right here that kind of looks like a billboard. There's not another side to represent the dimension on that one. So what we're going to do with this one is the same that was on this first one. This first one we took right off the edge of the paper, and it was right off the edge of the paper and it goes straight back. So now we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to go ahead and just take this straight back. So I'm going to take this back. If I wanted to, I could take that and just run it into the other building, which would be fine. Or I can take this and kind of give it a little bit of something here. There we go. I took it a little too far there. Next, what you're going to do is, as you'll notice, something else I want to mention is the buildings are bigger, they're taller, and they're getting shorter and a little thinner. So it kind of goes both ways there. Some other things that you can start putting into your project, you can start putting some doors and windows in. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a door, and the door, you kind of make those exactly like you did some of your small buildings. So there's a little door. Let's go ahead and draw some windows on here. So whenever I start drawing windows, I'm going to be taking these back to the vanishing point. Let's assume I need another door right there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines. Now, these practice ones, you can draw kind of your own details as long as they are in perspective. When we go and draw these with your photographs, you're going to need to get more specific to what your building looks like. But notice what I did there is every single time I lined every single one of these windows for the building up to my vanishing point. So if anything is following the horizon line, like anything that goes horizontal this way, always needs to be brought back to your vanishing point. All right, let's go ahead and get started and try.